Welcome to Chapter 10, the annual cycle of engagement, action plans, and meaningful evaluation. We've journeyed through the critical steps of reigniting your board, building a shared strategic vision, delegating effectively, empowering your members, and even setting up the crucial Board Development Committee. Your board is likely feeling more connected and purposeful than ever before. But how do we ensure this isn't just a fleeting honeymoon phase? How do we make this vibrant engagement a sustainable, year-in, year-out reality? The answer lies in establishing a clear, predictable annual cycle, a rhythm that intentionally links individual contributions to strategic goals and provides regular opportunities for reflection, learning, and growth. This chapter is about moving beyond ad hoc efforts and creating a deliberate system that keeps your board focused, motivated, and continuously improving. Moving beyond ad hoc, creating an annual board engagement and action plan. Many boards operate in a reactive mode, dealing with issues as they arise or relying on sporadic bursts of enthusiasm. But for sustained impact, we need a more intentional approach. That's where an annual board engagement and action plan comes in. This isn't about creating more bureaucracy. It's about clarity and purpose. It's about ensuring that every board member knows not just what the organization is trying to achieve from your strategic plan in Chapter 3, but also how they personally are going to contribute to that success over the coming year. Linking individual commitments to the big picture. The strategic plan is your North Star. Your committee work plans, from Chapter 4, are the vessels carrying you towards it. Now, we need to ensure each board member has a clear oar in the water. Building on the activation plans you discussed with members after the reignition audit, Chapter 2, and considering their committee assignments, each board member should ideally have 2 to 3 clear, achievable, and meaningful goals for the year. These aren't just random tasks. They are specific contributions that leverage their unique skills, passions, and networks, all while directly supporting the organization's strategic priorities. Imagine the power. Sarah, with her marketing expertise, commits to leading the social media subcommittee for the annual gala and increasing online ticket sales by 15%. David, the finance guru, commits to developing a new financial dashboard for board reporting by Quarter 2. Maria, the community connector, commits to introducing the ED to 5 potential community partners in the education sector by year-end. When board members have such clarity, their engagement deepens because they see exactly how their efforts fit into the larger puzzle. Developing these individual action plans. This doesn't have to be overly formal, but it should be intentional. These individual goals often emerge from discussions within their assigned committees, one-on-one conversations with the board chair or their committee chair, their own passions and ideas aligned with strategic needs. The key is that these goals are co-created or at least mutually agreed upon, ensuring buy-in. The annual board evaluation cycle, closing the loop for continuous improvement. Now, having individual and committee plans is great, but how do you ensure progress, learn from challenges, and keep getting better? Through a thoughtful, annual evaluation cycle. And let me be clear, when I say evaluation in this context, especially for individual board members, I'm not talking about a punitive, top-down performance review like in a corporate job. This is about supportive reflection, mutual accountability, and fostering continuous growth. This cycle typically has a few key components. Organizational performance review. The how did we do? At least once a year, often towards the end of your fiscal year, the board should dedicate time to review the organization's overall performance against its strategic goals and KPIs. Led by the ED/CEO and board chair, this involves looking at what did we set out to achieve this year, as per our strategic plan? What were our successes? Celebrate them. What were our challenges and what did we learn? How did our financial performance support our mission? This provides essential context. The board's effectiveness is ultimately measured by the organization's success in achieving its mission. Board self-assessment, the collective. How did we function? This is where the Board Development Committee, as discussed in Chapter 6, often takes the lead. Annually, the board should conduct a self-assessment focused on its own governance, processes, and culture. You can use a tool similar to the board reignition audit form from Chapter 2, or a more streamlined annual survey. Key questions to explore. How effective were our meetings? Did we maintain a strategic focus? Was communication open and effective? Did all members feel able to contribute meaningfully? How well did our committees function? Did we uphold our governance responsibilities effectively? The anonymized results and themes are then discussed by the full board to identify strengths and areas for improvement in its own operations. Individual board member, reflection and developmental discussion. The how did I contribute and grow? This is perhaps the most sensitive but also one of the most valuable parts of the cycle. Again, this is not a job performance review. It's a supportive, forward-looking developmental conversation. Who? Typically conducted by the board chair or the chair of the Board Development Governance Committee with each individual board member. Focus. Reflecting on their contributions. How did they progress against their 2 to 3 individual action plan goals for the year? What were they most proud of? Celebrating successes. Acknowledge their specific achievements and impact. Learning from challenges. What obstacles did they face? What support could have been helpful? Discussing their board experience. Are they feeling fulfilled, engaged? What's working well for them? What could be better? Setting aspirations for the next year. What do they hope to contribute in the coming year? Are there new skills they'd like to develop or apply? Is their current committee assignment still the best fit? This conversation should be based on their individual action plan and their self-reflection, creating a positive and constructive dialogue aimed at enhancing their engagement and effectiveness. Using evaluation for growth, the all-important feedback loop. This entire evaluation cycle isn't just an exercise if it doesn't lead to action. The insights gained from the organizational review, the board self-assessment, and the individual reflections are pure gold. They should directly inform future board recruitment priorities. What skills or perspectives are now clearly needed? Board training and development plans. What common themes emerged about areas where the board needs more knowledge or skills? Refinements to committee structures or processes. Are committees working effectively? Do charters need updating? Adjustments to the strategic plan itself. Is the plan still relevant? Are the goals achievable? Improvements to onboarding and support for members. What can you do better next time? This feedback loop ensures that your board is a learning entity, constantly striving for improvement and greater impact. Your actionable takeaways from this chapter. To help you implement this annual cycle of engagement and evaluation, you'll find these invaluable resources. Individual Board Member Annual Action Plan. Template. A simple framework to help each board member define 2 to 3 key goals for their year of service, linked to the strategic plan and their committee work. Annual Board Evaluation Process. Guide. A step-by-step guide outlining how to conduct the organizational performance review, the board self-assessment, and those crucial individual developmental conversations, creating an annual rhythm of planning, action, and thoughtful evaluation is what transforms a good board into a great one. It moves you beyond ad hoc efforts into a sustainable system of engagement, accountability, and continuous improvement. It ensures that every board member understands their value, sees their impact, and remains a committed partner in driving your mission forward year after year. You are now equipped with the knowledge and tools not just to recruit and activate, but to sustain a truly high-performing board. In our final chapter, we'll bring all these threads together and offer some concluding thoughts on your incredible journey as a leader, dedicated to building the board your nonprofit deserves.